Bar staff of Reddit, have you ever had a man use the safe word drink escape, and how often does it happen? I've unintentionally used the safe word drink before. Went to a bar with my now fiancé and ordered 2 Manhattans, which was apparently the safe word. Bad choice in my opinion, but in the bar's defense, not exactly the place you would normally order one. I was very nicely asked come over to the side bar, what kind of bourbon do you want, and the bartender asked if I needed a cab, if I was in a dangerous or uncomfortable situation. I used to bartend for a gay bar. One night I had a group of guys who seemed to be having a great time. After another round of shots, one sticks behind at the bar and asks for an angel shot. I bring him behind the bar and into the office. He was with a couple coworkers and their friends. He knew the coworkers were gay, and would be taking him to a gay bar, but apparently things started to get out of hand when they started trying to grope him. I tell him he can chill in the back room for as long as he needed. He hands me a handful of crumpled ones and asks for a burger. We didn't really serve food besides garbage tea bar snacks, so I hand him back his money and give him a couple bags of chips. About half an hour later I go to check on him, and notice that he's really fluffed up. To the point where he can't even talk. Definitely drugged with something. Luckily all his butt friends were still there drinking, so I called the cops. He's rushed away in an ambulance immediately. I shut the bar down so the cops and I can go through the security footage. We managed to catch 2 of the guys he's with putting some powder into his beer. Both of them were arrested, the other 2 were somewhere else at the time, and were let go. Edit. Thanks for all the kind words, guys. I used to bartend and do front desk at a hotel. One of my regulars was in for the week, real nice guy, very friendly and happily married. We also had a cuckoo bird lady staying with us that week. She was decent looking but deaf, had crazy eyes. They were both at the bar and they were talking for a while. Him being a nice guy, he didn't want to outright blow her off, I guess. He stops at the front desk to say what's up and we talk for a bit while the girl is just standing behind him. He shoots me a look that says get me out of this situation as he starts walking towards the elevator. Once she gets in the elevator I called him back to ask a question about Detroit because I was going there next week. He got off the elevator but so did she. Then I told the lady there was a problem with the card she had on file, there wasn't, and he slipped away. He called me thanking me a few minutes later. My friend's roommate was the bouncer at our college bar. My friend broke up with his GF, and she wanted him back. She kept threatening to make a rape claim against him if he didn't get back together with her. After a month of not talking to her, he thought the situation was done with. I ended up seeing him at the bar one night and we're just drinking and shooting the garbage. Out of nowhere his ex appears and starts flirting with him. We are both frozen in fear because he's gotta walk this fine line of not pissing her off and not getting back together with her. Another bouncer burst in and booms, I told you to get the fluff out? What's wrong with you two? He leads us to the back, exit-only door where my friend's roommate was standing. The roommate saw the ex creeping in and had his back. He sent one bouncer to kick us out, I was led back in, and another bouncer to stall the crazy ex so he could escape. Pure bro behavior. My old regular bar had a drink called Nef, need escape please help, not really the name as it is another language, but that is the idea, which was not on the menu. If you order it, they call you a cab, and one of the waiters will wait next to the toilet, allowing you to pay your half there and let you into the back so you can leave unnoticed. It was available for men and women alike to get out of bad dates, though they will not really let you use it to skip on your date. They didn't advertise it really, but regulars knew it existed. They would also actively offer someone that drink if they feel their date is going to the wrong place. I saw a man being offered it once when his date was verbally abusive to him. And a woman whose date was so arrogant and creepy and talked down on her. Never actually use it myself. I actually thought it was relatively common in most neighborhood bars to have this type of drink. Yup, had exactly this happen to me years back in a nightclub I managed. Only time I've ever experienced it, so I wouldn't say it happens often. Turned out the girl he was with was an escort and she had threatened him saying guys were waiting outside to beat the garbage out of him unless he paid up so many hundreds more than what they had agreed earlier. We immediately got the police involved instead of just escorting him out. It spiraled out of control briefly but all was well in the end. I had some good times working in the cub industry. Edit. Oh wow, didn't expect this to get so many upvotes. Basically, for the people asking what happened to her, she went absolutely bat garbage at my staff when she clocked something wasn't right, smashed some glasses and stormed out of the venue. Police arrived, took CCTV footage and statements. She was picked up later that evening. No idea how far it went or what happened though. As far as we could tell, there never were any bad guys waiting outside. My guess, it was just some scam she tried to pull on her clients, who knows. All I care about is none of my cubs got hurt. Here one from Eindhoven, Netherlands. I was working for a smaller bar with a mixed crowd. For both men and women we had safe drinks. Women, virgin tequila. Men, virgin vodka. In total I saw these ordered 2 times. The one that sticks with me the most was for Christmas Eve. This night we had mostly gay guys hanging around in the bar and some students. After a while of the students got a lot of attention of one of the gay guys, GG, hand on leg, a lot of too personal questions, touching ass, and told he was straight and not interested. This got the bartender that overheard this on alert, and he put a napkin on the bar near where he was sitting with a red exclamation mark, so all staff knew something was up. Goes to toilet and GG orders a round of vodka shots. Bartender didn't see so poured the order and placed it on the bar. Comes back and GG tells him to help him empty the glasses. Starts drinking and suddenly looks very paley and sweaty. As soon as the vodka is domed, GG smiles and walks to toilet. Looks worse by the second and asks for virgin vodka. At this moment 2 of the bartenders get him to one of the other bars owned by my boss and call an ambulance. The rest of the crew created a diversion for GG as soon as he came from the toilet, telling him left for a phone call. Ambulance noticed seemed to be drugged. GG was drinking something else by then, watered down cocktails without him even noticing, and we alerted the police, who found 4 tubes of GHB on him. In the end GG was arrested and rushed to hospital. Whoa, didn't expect this many reactions. Here's some answers. This was indeed on Stratumcent. The bars in question unfortunately do not exist anymore. We called it Virgin XXX because at this time, around 2008 to 2010, we never expected it to be used so much. Later we even changed the name every 3 months. GHB is officially a medical aid, later rape drug, which is too easy to produce at home. This makes control over it even harder and the drug only more dangerous. I worked in a nightclub that was popular with the gay community for a couple of years. We didn't have a safe word, but one night there were 2 guys clearly hitting it off. They were flirting and having a great time. After a couple of drinks, one of the guys was clearly being very forward and touchy. The other was not enjoying this and had withdrawn. He attempted to walk back to his friends, but the first guy wasn't having this and pulled him back. In an attempt to get out, the guy started vigorously shaking his head anytime one of the bar staff walked by. After this happened a few times, we realized something needed to be done and spoke to the guy that was being all forward and explained that we didn't think the other guy wanted to stay at the bar with him. He got aggressive then and started screaming at us because how the fluff would we know what the guy wanted, although it was blatantly obvious. Eventually we got security down to escort the guy out of the place so that the guy who had been trying to get away could go back to his friends, have a good night and not have to leave. I used to work in a high-quality seafood restaurant as a chucker. There were never any safe words, but there were a lot of telling looks. People behind the bar hear a lot of your conversations. They usually know what's going on before you do. I've had to escort more people than my job required off of the premises. Look at the bar staff in the eyes and slightly shake your head and we know. So I am a line cook, not bar staff, but at my last job, we had cameras in the bar area, cash register, and I was talking to our night bar gal. She said a guy had asked for a taxi because he felt dizzy and disoriented, and didn't feel safe. His GF was chiding him, but it turns out it wasn't her that spiked the drink. The cameras caught the guy next to this couple, putting something in his drink, for his GF, and he screwed up which one, because they both had the same drink. So, 2 couples, one guy accidentally doses a guy's drink by mistake. The girl for the dosing guy left without him. Apparently he was impatient when it wasn't working. The worst part? We thought he was cool guy, he was a regular. They caught him next time and called the cops and showed the tapes, and last I heard he was being charged with attempted sexual assault. Edited for a bit more clarity. Am a bouncer, had a regular dude meeting a Tinder date. She was pretty hot and I gave him a thumbs up. She was very polite and nice. 2 drinks later she became an utter female doggy. I walked up to him to see how it was going, and he explained while she was in the toilet how much of a female doggy she was being to everyone. He came up to me, said how good the whiskey was he just had, and I knew straight away, he's a beer man through and through. He wanted to bail. I asked him if he would stay if he didn't meet her. He nodded. So I kicked the girl out and told her she was too drunk. He met his girlfriend of now 3 years 2 hours later after I kicked her out.